Hello, Zach Yelton here, Director of Premium Services at Coastal Shores Landscape. Today I want to attempt to answer some of the most frequently asked questions that we get about pre-emergent herbicides. This room right here behind me is our training room, and we're actually talking with our maintenance teams and all of our employees about these very things right now. So I wanted to take a moment to share that with you today. One of the most commonly ask questions is, what is a pre-emergent herbicide and how can it benefit my lawn? So a pre-emergent herbicide is essentially a chemical that helps prevent certain weeds from forming. It won't necessarily prevent them from germinating, but it will, once they do germinate, it will affect their roots in a way that they won't grow. So the roots get stunted and deformed, and it won't even allow that weed to pop through the soil surface. So the pre-emergent herbicide is like a blanket of protection, if you will. When it's put out across your property, whether that's in the lawn or the landscape beds, it will provide a blanket of protection there. And it can benefit your property, obviously, because there's certain weeds that are a pest and a nuisance. And once they form, they'll grow and they'll take over. They're very tough to control once they emerge. So we try to prevent them on the front end. So that begs the question, well, when do we apply them? You want to apply those herbicides before they germinate. So we have, down in the coastal areas where we are, we deal with a lot of landscape weeds, mainly crabgrass, goosegrass, and spurge and lespedeza in the spring and summer season. And then in the fall and winter, we deal with Poa annua, which is annual bluegrass. We deal with chickweed, and we deal with clover. So you cannot just put a pre-emergent application down at one point in the year and expect it to prevent weeds year-round. You have to time these things prior to the germination of those weeds that I just mentioned. So, for example, in the springtime, we are going to have, very soon, we're going to have goosegrass, crabgrass, spurge, lespedeza, a lot of other weeds start to germinate in our lawns. Once the soil temperatures reach above 55 degrees, you can expect to see those weeds start to germinate again for the season. So we want to be ahead of that. We want to have our pre-emergent herbicides applied to your property prior to that prior to that germination period. Usually here in the coastal South, that is somewhere in the month of February. We monitor the soil temperatures, we monitor the air temperature. Certain seasons are ahead of others, but generally speaking, February is the time of year to do that. So I want to take a moment real quick to talk about what pre-emergents will not do. I just mentioned you cannot put down a pre-emergent and expect it to prevent weeds year-round. You have to follow a program. Therefore, that means you have to split up applications. So that's one thing it won't do. The other thing, it will not prevent 100% of weeds. Pre-emergent herbicides are designed specifically to target a narrow band of weeds. They do have some residual effect on other weeds, but not 100% of them. So you might engage with us in a program to prevent weeds, and when you put out that pre-emergent herbicide, there may still be weeds that form in your lawn. Now, they're not going to be the real problematic weeds. They may be other weeds, but understand that a pre-emergent herbicide will not prevent 100% of weeds in your lawn. Usually a weed management program would involve a pre-emergent and a post-emergent herbicide. Post-emergent herbicide being a product that you spray onto the weeds once it has emerged from the soil. We do get a question often, well, why do I need a pre-emergent if you're just going to treat it with a post-emergent herbicide? Well, it's a great question. As I mentioned, though, there are problematic weeds, particularly crabgrass. Once that one forms, it's very, very hard to treat especially in certain grass types. Once that one forms, it's very hard to get rid of. So we want to try to prevent that as much as possible. And then we'll put a pre-emergent out to prevent that. And then in the spring and summer, whatever weeds may germinate during that time period, we would target those with a post-emergent herbicide product, which selectively kills that that weed that's germinated in your lawn, but it won't kill the grass. So if we're, our guys are trained, we're licensed to apply these things commercially, as we have to be for the state of South Carolina and to abide by the Environmental Protection Agency. So our guys are trained on this. We hold the right licensing. So rest assured, if we're coming on your property and applying this stuff, we're fully legal to be doing that. And right here in this room is where we get a lot of our training on this stuff. So I hope that helps answer some of your questions. I think one other thing I will mention, doveweed has been a particularly difficult problem here in the coastal areas. I would say over the last 10 years, that one has really come on strong and become a very big problem for our lawns. There are very few pre-emergent herbicides that will prevent that one from forming. The ones that are out there are very expensive, and they're not even available to use everywhere. So we have to treat that one most often with a post-emergent product, meaning after it germinates later in the season, we identify it, we spray it, and treat it. So we have the knowledge to do that. If you're interested in more information about that weed in particular, please let me know. I'm happy to go into more depth there with you. So I hope this helps. I hope this answers a few questions on pre-emergent herbicides and how they can benefit your property. Here at Coastal Shores, we've got a really good program that we believe will help your lawn. We can tailor it for your lawn. We will apply it at the right times of year to help that. And if you're interested in more information on that, please let us know. It is February though, nonetheless, and we are getting ready to sign up and make those applications. So it's something we encourage you to think more about for your property and consider. If you're interested in receiving this service from us, check the link below, and you can find out some more information on that and sign up. Once you click the link, it'll put you right into our sign-up sheet, and we'll contact you about the timing of it. So, hey, thanks again for watching, and we appreciate your attention.